Good evening and welcome into the gymnasium on the campus of Holy Redeemer High School in Wilkes-Barre as the Holy Redeemer Royals girls get set to host the Abington Heights Comets as we are getting underway into the basketball season here, the 24-25 season. Not really in earnest just yet, but teams playing a couple of games a week, getting their basketball legs under them, shaking off whatever fall sports they might have played and getting into basketball shape. Redeemer Royals already have a couple of games under their belt. This is the first of the season for Abington. Holy Redeemer comes in at 2-0. They were last in action just on Saturday. They got a 62-46 win over Whitehall. That is Holy Redeemer in the white with the red trim and the red numbers. Abington Heights in the navy blue uniforms with the white numbers, and that one was picked there by Emma Coleman. She gave it right back, though, to Bella Boylan. Boylan straight up and gets two. Bella Boylan, unless I'm mistaken, the reigning athlete of the week in the Wyoming Valley Conference, according to the Citizens Voice newspaper. Abington answers quickly. We're tied at 2, just underway here in the first quarter. We'll get you the starting lineups as we make our way along here. This is Albrecht on the point, all the way across to Chimok. Three-pointer from Mackenzie Chimok, no good. Rebounded there by Emma Coleman. And this Holy Redeemer defense does not give you an easy trip up the court, and they kind of won't do it all night. Looks like that foul is going to be on Brooke Kreptovich. It is indeed. She'll pick up her first. The Royals, under head coach John Jaworski, are not afraid to use all their fouls. You get a few, they're not afraid to use them. They will press you. They will be physical with you. Coleman hit her first free throw. She hits her second. Abington takes a 4-2 lead. Boylan thought about driving there, then got tied up. Possession arrow goes over to Abington Heights. Coleman will send this in for the Comets. For the visiting Comets, Emma Coleman, who we just mentioned, starting 5'9" sophomore. Abby Schneider, 5'7" sophomore, number 11 in the starting lineup. Along with number 12, Madison Walsh, 5'6" senior. Maggie Coleman, returning star from last year, number 21, senior at 5'7". And Lily Skoblik, 33, 5'10" junior. Skoblik, a forward. Everybody else in that starting lineup listed as a guard for Abington Heights. As the Royals get possession of the basketball, let's take a look at their starting lineup as well. Number 3, Megan Albrecht, 5'9" senior. Number 5, Bella Boylan, 5'8" junior. 5'11" senior, Brooke Kreptovich. Number 20, Kayla Pekarovsky, number 5'9" senior. And 5'5" junior, 22, Mackenzie Chimok. Rounding out your starting lineup for the home Royals. This will be Chimok at the free throw line. She drains first one. That was the first team foul against Abington. Royals have already picked up 2. Chimok, 30 points on the season coming into tonight. Relatively young season. 75% free throw shooter coming into the night. Also, when we talk about free throw percentages this early in the year, it's fun with small sample sizes, right? Snyder couldn't finish. Boylan does. 6-4 in favor of the Royals. Quickly now the other direction Maggie Coleman gave that one off to Madeline Walsh. Albrecht kicks it out to Boylan. Boylan's shot, no good. Rebounded by Skoblik. Skoblik quickly the other direction to Coleman. Coleman tried to fight through traffic, eventually passed that one off. That shot falls for Madeline Walsh. Ball stolen at midcourt and quickly turned into 2 points. 8-6 in favor of Abington Heights. These teams had, we'll talk about this when we get a timeout or a chance to talk about some things. These teams should be pretty evenly matched. They had remarkably similar finishes to their seasons last year. Redeemer in 3A, Abington in 5A, so not in the same classification, but the way their seasons culminated was very similar. Both schools known for a good brand of basketball, so the expectation would be pretty evenly matched basketball game. Shooter's roll there for Megan Albrecht. We're tied at 8, 4:33 remaining here in the opening quarter. Outlet pass to Skoblik. Skoblik gave that one back off to Coleman. Coleman hits. The three from Maggie Coleman makes it a 3-point lead for Abington Heights. Albrecht draws the foul. So that is 3 on Abington now. A couple more and the Redeemer Royals will be shooting free throws. Pekarowski tried to go straight to the hoop with that one. She got stymied. Pass was just a little bit behind Walsh. That well, nearly ended that possession, but then Emma Coleman comes out of nowhere with the steal. So Pekarowski and Chimok will get a breather for Holy Redeemer. Abington turns that one over. Royals trailing by 3 with a chance to pull within 1 or tie on this possession. Baseline drive that time by Albrecht. She finishes. Royals within 1. Little scoop there from Maggie Coleman. Extends that lead back to 3 for Abington Heights. Kruptavich out at the point. Quick shot, and that's good for Albrecht. Royals back to within 1. And Abington passing out of that pressing defense. Maggie Coleman with 3 more. The Royals are coming up pressing on defense, as we mentioned they do. Right now, Abington looks like they can pass out of that. And it's giving them scoring opportunities. The Royals are matching them, though. And it's 16-15. Here's another 3. That one's a little bit strong. Battle, rebound Abington. 2:33 remaining here in the first quarter. Abington with the lead. Chance to add to it here at the free throw line. That is a little bit short. Sydney Paulman at the free throw line. Paulman, a 5'8" sophomore. Misses them both. Whistle and possession for Redeemer. So Redeemer down one, opportunity to take the lead here with about 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kriptavich over to Quinn. Quinn for three, well short. Paulman went up for the rebound, was tied up, but possession will stay with Abington, and that'll be a quick timeout for the Royals. So 16-15 is your score. Visiting Abington Heights Comets with the lead. 2:13 remaining in the first quarter. This Abington Heights team made it to the state quarterfinals last year, but they are not returning many of the players that were major contributors to that effort last year. They were decimated by graduation, but it's Abington Heights. They don't necessarily rebuild, they reload. They do bring back Maggie Coleman. She had 336 total points last year. By far the leading point scorer returning to this team. Madeline Walsh had 95 last year. Skoblik just 26 for the year, but she was at least on the score sheet. And you had several other players that were in triple digits in scoring for that Abington Heights team last year that they were all seniors, and they are not back. So Coach Deanna Klingman has had to find a whole new group to put on the floor. This is Paulman back at the free throw line. She missed 3 in a row. She got the 4th one. Abington leads by a bucket, 17-15. There's Boylan. Gave that off. Quinn looking for someplace to go. Boylan inside to Kriptavich. Kriptavich dribbles out. She's trying to create. Guarded pretty closely there by Cantor. Now she kicks it out to Quinn. Quinn thought about the quick shot, didn't take it. Near side for Chimok. Chimok's shot a little strong. Rebounded by Abington. Paulman was able to corral that one right in the corner, keep it in bounds. And here is Paulman in transition. Paulman, that last pass to Emma Coleman. And Abington leads by 4. Boylan outside. And then a drive by Parsons, Jillian Parsons, 5'10" sophomore. Contact inside. She will go to the line. Parsons fouled in the act of shooting, so she'll shoot 2 here. Next foul for Abington. We'll have the Redeemer Royals shooting 2 for the last minute of this first quarter. Fight for the rebound there, won by Walsh for Abington. And down she goes. She's a little bit slow getting up behind the play. Rebounded at the other end by Albrecht. A little bit of a wild shot there by Boylan. she was able to draw the foul, and that will be the 5th of the quarter against Abington. So as we just mentioned, Royals will go to the free throw line. And they're back within 3. Bella Boylan, 22 points on the season coming into the night. Remember, just 2 games under their belts. Hits both of her free throws. Pulls Redeemer back to within a bucket. Emma Coleman, little strong. Rebounded by Redeemer right up the baseline on the near side, or the far side, excuse me. Stripped, and here goes Maggie Coleman the other direction. Quick pass to Emma Coleman and a foul. .21 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Emma Coleman, the sophomore at the free throw line. Makes it a 3-point lead for the Comets. Comets by 4, 21 seconds to go here in the fourth. Redeemer, this is Chimok. Baseline, stops, shoots, but has that block, gets her own rebound, kicks it back outside. Drive to the basket that time by Bella Boylan. Pulls Redeemer to within 2. Can Abington get a shot off before the clock goes down? They get it off, and it's no good. Emma Coleman with the shot at the buzzer. That one doesn't fall, but it's 21-19 in favor of Abington after 1 quarter. I'll rejoin you for quarter number 2 in a couple of moments.
I know. Yeah.
(21-19) after 1 quarter. Visiting Comets with the lead over the home Holy Redeemer Royals. Comets come up empty on their first possession of the second quarter, so opportunity for the Royals to tie or take the lead. Shot by Chimok off the mark. Maggie Coleman followed that one, but wisely allowed it to harmlessly bounce out of bounds. So now Abington. Madeline Walsh will bring it up, and the Royals have already backed off of that full court press a little bit. They're meeting them right there at half court. But they were up like a forecheck in hockey for a lot of that first quarter, but Abington proved that they could pass out of that. Long shot there by Boylan. And Redeemer has the lead, 22-21. Coleman changes direction a couple of times, passes it off. Baseline. That one goes. Madeline Walsh with 2 for Abington Heights. So it's a 1-point lead for the Comets, and if you're waiting for either team to stretch out to anything that looks like a comfortable lead, you might be waiting for a while. As we mentioned earlier, the expectation would be that these two teams played a pretty competitive brand of basketball against one another. Abington was hit harder. We talked about that by graduation when you compare the squads from last year. A little more experience on the floor for Holy Redeemer. But the Comets not backing down, not afraid of anything. Here's Walsh. She draws the foul. No, she did not draw the foul. She was called for the travel. Boylan. Finger roll and in. And the Royals retake the lead 24-23. Snyder loses the handle. Kreptavich quickly the other direction. She scores, and that'll be a timeout for Abington. 26-23 in favor of Holy Redeemer. So we mentioned how Maggie Coleman is really the only big scorer left on the Abington team from last year. If you look at Holy Redeemer, they also went to the state quarterfinals last year. And returning from that state quarterfinal team, Megan Albrecht with 200 points on the season last year. Bella Boylan, who scored 239 last year. Kreptavich, 262 points on that team last year. And Mackenzie Chimick had 207. So 4 players with 200 points or more in the season returning from that squad that came pretty close to the semis. They wound up facing a tough Loyal Sock team in the quarters and got bounced. But on paper, that much returning offensive production from Holy Redeemer, you would think would give the Royals the edge. If there is an edge, it's a slim one as it appears right now. These two teams look to be evenly matched. Should be fun the rest of the night. Kreptavich draws the foul. That one's called against Emma Coleman. Second team foul of the quarter against Abington Heights. Albrecht looking for someplace to go with this. She gets it into Bella Boylan. Boylan. Good. And the lead is 5 now for Holy Redeemer. So the Royals may be figuring a little something out. Tried to get inside with that one, had it picked off. Albrecht dribbles all the way and draws the foul from Emma Coleman. Coleman hits her first one. So there's another one, and it's 30-23, 7-point lead for Holy Redeemer. Redeemer trailed 21-19 at the end of one. They have outscored Abington 11-2 so far here in the second. Rebounded by Coleman underneath. She goes back up with it too strong. Rebounded by the Royals. Outlet quickly to Albrecht. Off balance shot by Parsons for Holy Redeemer. And now it's a 9-point lead for the Royals. Loose ball was picked up there by Walsh. Snyder's shot no good. Rebounded by Albrecht. Mackenzie Chimuk, too strong, misses, but rebounded. Put back up by Kruptavich. She misses. Battle for the rebound. Wasley. Excuse me, that was Parsons. Parsons does not get the roll that time. Redeemer with an opportunity to stretch the lead to double digits here. They trailed by a bucket after the first quarter, but the second quarter has been all Royals. They get the rebound there. Parsons spins, too strong. A couple of offensive rebounds, couldn't finish. Abington in transition scores. Maggie Coleman gets the Comets back on the board. They pull back to within 32-25. Turnover by the Royals. And Abington will want to come up with something in this possession. Walsh thought about it. Finally off to Snyder. Shot from the corner by Coleman, too strong. It'll be Redeemer basketball. Bella Boylan, junior, off to Quinn on the corner. Quinn dribbled into the middle, lost the handle. Opportunity going the other direction now for Abington. Easily laid in by Maggie Coleman. And now the lead is down to 5 for Holy Redeemer. Three-point shot goes for Quinn. Carney Quinn, 5'8" junior. Came into the night with 11 points on the season through a couple of games. Adds to her season total there, and there's a whistle. That is the first team foul of this second quarter against Holy Redeemer. Fouls are 4-1. In the second. Walsh's shot goes. Back to a 5-point basketball game. So Redeemer had got that lead up around double digits. Comets have fought back. Nice inside pass that time to Kruptavich, which couldn't quite finish, but the Royals get that rebound. Able to reset the possession. Albrecht. Some contact underneath, no call. Emma Coleman was right there with her. Abington tried to score in transition there. Maybe got a little bit ahead of themselves. Baseline. Stop and rimmed out that time for Albrecht. That was just bad luck for Megan Albrecht. Had the open look. Used every single part of the rim and came back out. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. 35-30 in favor of Redeemer. Emma Coleman gets that in to Walsh. And then to Maggie Coleman, back to Walsh. At one time they worked it up underneath to Sarah Cantner. Cantner couldn't finish. Outlet pass in transition, just missed by Mary Lombardi. But once again, Redeemer gets the offensive rebound. And they can try again. Just about stepped out of bounds there, Mary Lombardi. She was really close to the line. Outside shot from Mackenzie Chimuk is good. And it's 38-30 in favor of the Royals. Getting down to about a minute to play here in the first half. Cutting to the basket that time was Coleman. (38-32), back within 6. Coleman with the rebound. See if she tries to take it coast to coast. She gives it up at the last second to Maggie Coleman. And now it's a 4-point basketball game. 30 seconds to go in the half. Shot that time by Chimok off the mark. Rebounded by Kantner. And Abington will probably play for the final shot of the half here. Outside to Kantner. A little bit out of control for Abington. And the result is 2 more points from Kreptavich. So now with 5 seconds left, here come the Royals, or excuse me, the Comets. Shot by Coleman well off the mark. So 40-34, 6-point lead for Holy Redeemer at halftime. My name is Rick Stair, and you're watching high school basketball here on Service Electric Channel 9 and on 509 in high definition. (40-34) is our halftime score here at the gymnasium at the campus of Holy Redeemer High School. My name is Rick Stair, and we are set for the second half. The Royals lead Abington Heights, and the Royals will have possession to get things underway here in the second half. We'll get you some first half numbers as we go along here. For Holy Redeemer, Bella Boylan with 15 points leading the way on that 40-34 lead. For Abington Heights, Maggie Coleman had 16. She led all scorers. Nobody on either team in any real foul trouble. Lily Skoblik would be the exception to that for Abington Heights. She's got 3. Jillian Parsons has 2 for Redeemer. Nobody from either team has more than 1 foul. So would take a odd turn of events. Not impossible, but an unusual turn of events to see any major players in any real foul trouble the rest of the way here tonight. That one's off the mark. Just underway here in the third quarter. For Redeemer, Quinn with 6 points, Albrecht with 8, Kreptavich with 4, Chimok with 5, and Parsons added 2 points. That accounts for the Redeemer scoring in the first half. For Abington, Emma Coleman had 6, Abby Schneider with 2, Madeline Walsh had 7, and then as we mentioned, Maggie Coleman with 16. So nobody else in double digits for either team except the top scorers, Boylan and Coleman. Pass deflected and then handled by Redeemer. Shot from the outside, off the mark that time by Mackenzie Chimok, rebounded by the Comets. Easy lay in there for Madeline Walsh. Abington is within 6. Boylan worked that one inside, now kicked back out. 3-point shot, rattles in. That was Megan Albrecht. Mackenzie Coleman to Walsh. Back to Walsh. Now Emma Coleman. Emma Coleman guarded there by Boylan, lost the handle. That's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say that Boylan was the last one to touch that, got a hand on it and swatted it away. Neither player made an effort to go off after that basketball. Abington felt like it came off the hand of Boylan. Boylan was hoping for the backcourt call against Abington. Didn't get it. Pass that time was in at the feet of Sarah Kantner.
So here's Chimok with the 9-point lead. Chimok to the corner. That three-pointer rattles out, rebounded by Coleman. That's Emma Coleman. Coleman long pass to the far side for Maggie Coleman. Rebounded underneath by Chimok for Redeemer. Errant pass that time by Albrecht. And Maggie Coleman draws the foul. First team foul of the of the quarter against Holy Redeemer. 62% free throw shooter last year. Got the roll there. Lead is down to 8. Abington has been able to keep this around a single-digit lead. Redeemer's got it up to 10 once or twice, but they haven't been able to really pull away. And as long as the Comets can stay within single digits, you figure they're a couple of possessions away from really tightening it up. That was Albrecht driving baseline. Back to a 9-point lead now for the Royals. Coleman inside to Kantner. Kantner misses. Right back up by Lily Skoblik. Skoblik draws the foul. A little bit of a dangerous play there for Lily Skoblik. As we mentioned, she's the only one in anything close to foul trouble with 3 in that first half. But she battles in the low post there and draws the foul. And misses her first free throw. Skoblik not close with that second one. Ball is tied up and possession arrow to Redeemer. Inbounds pass was a little bit behind Mackenzie Chimok there. That almost got away from the Royals. But they recover quickly and score in transition down on the other end. Carney Quinn makes it 49-38 as an 11-point lead now for Holy Redeemer. And Abington is going to want to answer quickly. Skoblik. Skoblik not afraid to drive, to look for contact down low. She scored there. Made it a 9-point game once again. Remember, Skoblik has those 3 fouls. Picked them all up in the first half. About 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 49-40 is your score. Redeemer with the lead. Skoblik this time has to kick it back out to Coleman. Coleman outside to Walsh. Walsh's shot off the mark, rebounded by Chimok. And now it's Abington pressing on defense. But the Royals pass out of it, and that shot was blocked. Quinn tried to go up with one on the far side. She had that swatted away. Can Abington capitalize on offense coming the other way? That one will be tied up, Abington ball. Albrecht and Walsh both had their hands on that basketball simultaneously. Emma Coleman looking for someplace to put this one, and she just gave it right to Carney Quinn. Quinn going coast to coast. She's fouled. Emma Coleman on that inbounds pass was looking for something. She was looking for her teammate to be cutting in the direction she threw that basketball. There was nobody there but white jerseys. Quinn misses the first free throw. Drains the second, and it is an even 10-point lead, 50-40
in favor of Holy Redeemer with 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. Coleman. Quick pass that time to Skoblik. Skoblik with the easy layup. Lead is back down to 8. Comets are going to need a defensive stop or two, and then they got to capitalize on the other end on offense. Getting close to the end of the third quarter here. They're going to need to start whittling away at that lead. Defensive rebound that time by Maggie Coleman. Skoblik kicked that one outside quickly. Madeline Walsh found herself in trouble. Couldn't tell if Madeline Walsh made contact with the hardwood with her head or if she just had trouble with the hair tie there. But everybody seems to be moving around okay, so we'll assume it was that second one. And she slips there. Walsh just lost her footing. I don't know if there's a wet spot on the floor. Skoblik was, after that play, standing in the exact spot where Walsh lost her footing. She seemed okay there. So hopefully, probably, I guess, not a problem with the with any foreign substance on the hardwood. Abby Schneider enters for Abington Heights. Megan Albrecht scores for Holy Redeemer. And the lead is back to 10 for the Royals. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Maggie Coleman, 2-point shot from Walsh. That did not fall. And then it'll be Redeemer basketball. Kriptavich into Boylan. Bella Boylan on the right-handed dribble. Outside shot, nothing but net for Quinn. So don't forget, coming up next, well, the next basketball broadcast here on Service Electric will be in a couple of nights. Thursday night, right here on this very same, right here in this very same venue, the Holy Redeemer boys will be hosting Selinsgrove. That's Thursday night here on Service Electric Channel 9. My friend and colleague Paul Garrity will be back on the microphone joining you for that one. These two teams last played last year right around this time, December 8th of last year. Abington Heights won that matchup 59-44. Maggie Coleman had 16 points for Abington. Bella Boylan had 10 for Holy Redeemer. Those were your high scorers out of, players that are still, that remain on their respective teams. And those two are your high scorers tonight. Right now it's 55-42, 13-point lead for Holy Redeemer. If the Comets want to really, realistically stay in this one, they're going to have to do something pretty soon. Coleman can't get that one. Chimok with the rebound. Into the corner, thought about the shot, passed it up. Kriptavich now changes direction a couple of times. Outside to Quinn. That shot was blocked. Three-pointer is good. Back to a 10-point lead for Holy Redeemer. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Off the mark there, and this will be Abington basketball. So the Comets with a chance to cut this to a single-digit lead with just slightly under 38 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. So if you're Coach Deanna Klingman, it's kind of what you want here. The best you can ask for is to get this back down to somewhere in single digits heading into the fourth. Had to kick that one outside. Snyder lost the handle, but she was fouled. Fifth foul in the quarter against Holy Redeemer. Only less than 30 seconds to go in the quarter, 23.5, but that fifth foul is enough to send Abington to the free throw line. Snyder misses on the opportunity for free points. Misses them both. Had a chance to get that Redeemer lead down to 8. Instead, it was Chimuk going quickly the other direction. Down under 20 seconds now. 16.6 left in the quarter. And so Redeemer will have an opportunity to add to their double-digit lead here to finish things off in the third. I expect them to play for the final shot of the quarter. Right up underneath the basket, that was Kriptavich. Kriptavich fouled with under 10 seconds to play. Kriptavich, 15 points on the season coming into the night. Remember, again, that was through 2 games. Put up 262 last year. She is the high scorer among returning players from last year for the Holy Redeemer Royals. Right at the buzzer. Good. And the Royals make it 58-45. 13-point lead for Holy Redeemer heading to the fourth. My name is Rick Stern. You're watching high school basketball on Service Electric TV Channel 9, and I'll be back to join you for that fourth quarter in just a few moments. On we go to the fourth quarter. 58-45 in favor of the Royals. They have taken control of this one. Talked about this in passing earlier on. Last year, this Abington Heights team was the runner-up in District 2. They lost out at the Mohegan Sun Arena 46-34 to Scranton in the 5A District 2 title game there. Still moved on to the state playoffs into the semifinals. Lost to Bethlehem Catholic 46-33. Actually led in that one 13-10 after a quarter. But then Becca went on a 11-0 run in the second quarter. It's a little similar to how tonight has played out, actually. Abington had that 21-19 lead, a 2-point lead after a quarter, but then an 11-2 run by Redeemer to start quarter number 4 has been really kind of the difference in this one. Holy Redeemer, last year, District 2 3A champs. They got a 51-46 win over Dunmore out at the arena.
They went to the state quarterfinals where they lost 51-34, as we mentioned earlier, to Loyalsock. Redeemer also led after the first quarter of that game, 9-4, before Loyalsock took control of that one. Quick put back there by Abby Schneider. Couple of quick points, a little bit of life from the Abington Comets. Royals still with a 9-point lead. That one is tied up. Megan Albrecht emphatically yanking that one out of there, but not before the whistle. So Abington basketball off of the possession arrow. Here comes Maggie Coleman to Walsh. Walsh looked like she thought about taking a shot there for a second. Coleman, a little bit of a tough pass there to Walsh, and now she's trapped. So she goes baseline, gives that one off right up underneath there to Skoblik, and Skoblik get called for the foul there? I think she did. That's going to be her fourth. No, foul was against Holy Redeemer. That one got dribbled right on the line. Her foot was not on the line there. That play happened right down in front of my broadcast position here. I think the ball might have dribbled once out of bounds, but I'm not sure if it did that before it got her hand. In any event, it's Redeemer basketball. Once again, offensive rebounds for Redeemer, getting second chances. Chases another one down, and that'll be a timeout. Redeemer by 9, 58-49, 6:20 remaining in regulation of this one. Should mention our officials out there tonight. Officiating crew, Tony DeMarenka, Pat Roman, and John Basic. Your PIAA varsity basketball officiating crew here tonight on the campus of Holy Redeemer High School. 58-49 your score. Holy Redeemer Royals, home team with the lead. Abington led by 2 after a quarter, and it has really been all Royals ever since. They went on an 11-2 run quickly in quarter number 2. Gained control of this game there and have not relinquished it. And now they can use some of the clock here. They are not in a hurry. They got nearly a double-digit lead. They're in the fourth quarter. Opportunity to shorten this game, and that looks like it's just what they're doing. Kruptavich inside. She draws the foul. Two team fouls against Abington Heights here in the second quarter. Redeemer has just one. A momentary hush falls over the gymnasium as Sarah Kantner comes back in for Abington. Kruptavich thought about that shot, but just not in a big hurry to take shots right now, and there's no reason to be. Just cut down the number of possessions available to Abington in this game if you're Holy Redeemer. Comets, meanwhile, are going to have to show a little bit of urgency. Coleman with the shot. Gets the bounce. Cuts the lead to single digits at 58-52. So a 6-point lead. Three-pointer misses from Kruptavich. And now Abington with a chance to get right back in this thing. Coleman in trouble. Got that one off the leg of Pekarovsky.
Parsons checks back in for Redeemer. Coleman looking to inbounds for Abington. That long pass, she had one of those get away from her earlier tonight. That one connected okay. Coleman stops and shoots for three. No good. If Coleman could have got that one to fall, we'd have had ourselves a three-point basketball game. She did not. And now Redeemer with 5 minutes to play and a 6-point lead. Three-point shot does not fall. Scramble for the rebound. And once again, it's those offensive rebounds for Holy Redeemer. Bella Boylan draws the foul. Royals able to give themselves second and third chances on offense and also just stretch the length of time that they have possession. A little bit of contact there at the end. Maggie Coleman didn't like it, had something to say to the official. I think he teed her up. Chimmick and Coleman were chasing that loose ball down to the end of the court. They made contact. Coleman went down. She got up, had something to say right away. Might have got away with a quick word or two, but kind of let it continue. She drew the tee, so here is Megan Albrecht to the free throw line, courtesy of that technical foul. She got one of the two. Makes it a 7-point lead for Holy Redeemer. Albrecht will get this one in for the Royals. So the Royals leading by 7. They got the ball, got a chance to add to it here. Down under 5 minutes to play. Getting a little critical for Abington. They were able to go on a little bit of a run. Got within 6. Came within an Emma Coleman three-pointer that was pretty close to making it a 3-point game. But the couldas don't help you right now. Another offensive rebound for Redeemer and a score. Lead is back to 9. That's going to be a timeout for Abington. 4:24 to play. 61-52. As we mentioned earlier, our next basketball broadcast here on Service Electric Channel 9 and 509 in high definition will be Thursday. It's the day after tomorrow. Right here on the campus of Holy Redeemer High School, the Holy Redeemer Royals boys basketball team will be hosting the Selinsgrove Seals. That's Thursday night. Tip-off should be somewhere in that 7:15 time frame, depending on how the JV game goes, of course. Party Paul Garrity will be sitting in this very spot giving you the play-by-play for that one. But right now, 61-52. Abington trails. They got the basketball. Foul on Boylan. Third team foul of the half against the Royals. Abington has 4 team fouls this half, so their next one is going to send Redeemer to the free throw line. Quick shot there by Cantner. Does not fall. And empty possessions are just, every one of them is a big deal right now for Abington Heights. Chimmock
Kicks that one outside. Albrecht is stopped. Underhanded shot from underneath by Mackenzie Chimok. I don't think it's a shot you would ever teach, but it scored 2. And the Redeemer lead is 11. Three-pointer is good from Emma Coleman. It thought about it, and finally decided to go down. Keeps the Comets within potential striking distance with under 3.5 to play here in the fourth quarter, 63-55. Make it 65-55 now. Back to a 10-point lead for the Royals. Maggie Coleman out to Emma Coleman. Coleman to Coleman. Baseline drive that time. Madeline Walsh with 2. And an Abington timeout. So an 8-point lead now for Holy Redeemer. Under 3 minutes to play. 2:51. Team fouls, 4 against Abington Heights. That's kind of a big deal because the next team foul against Abington just automatically puts the Royals at the free throw line for 2 shots for the rest of the game, and there's still nearly 3 minutes to play. Royals with 3 team fouls, so they're only 2 away from putting Abington at the line. Abington led 21-19 after a quarter, but they got outscored 21-13 in the second. Coleman couldn't get it to go, but Emma Coleman did. And now it's a 6-point game. And that foul is going to send Mackenzie Chimok to the line. Fifth team foul against Abington Heights, so the Royals will go to the line for every foul now the rest of the game, and you shoot 2. There's no more 1-and-1 situations here in high school hoops. Mackenzie Chimok, 75% free throw shooter on the young season. Confidently drains that first one. She hits them both. Free throws down the stretch, always critical. Royals looking to put this away. That's a good way to do it. Rebounded by Chimok right underneath, but she dribbled that one on the paint out of bounds. Abington's going to need to score quickly here, though. Coleman for 3. Nothing but net. And the lead for the Royals is 5. So every time it looks like the Royals are really basically ready to put this one to bed, it's been one of the Colemans, and really it's kind of been more often in this second half. Emma Coleman, the sophomore, hitting big shots to keep the Comets in this game. Easy one right underneath that time for Sarah Cantner. And now the lead is just 5. (69-64) in favor of Holy Redeemer. The Royals led by double digits most of this fourth quarter. Looked like they were kind of just gonna coast home with this one. And maybe that was in their heads a little bit out there on the court. Abington, on the other hand, it's a little bit of a bus ride from Clark Summit down to here. So they figure if they're going to make that bus ride, they may as well fight all the way to the last buzzer, I guess. They've done just that. They pulled themselves to within 5. Just under 2 minutes, 1:51 to play here, 69-64. It is Holy Redeemer basketball, though, so they do have an opportunity to get it back up to 7 or 8 here. Albrecht drives. Missed the layup. Had an open lane there. Just missed it, but she gets the steal and draws the foul. It was actually Bella Boylan with the steal. She got it back to Albrecht. Albrecht draws the foul. So she'll go to the line with a 5-point lead. 1:32 to play. That one rolls in for her. 6-point lead now for the Royals. Missed the free throw, but battle for the rebound. That gets tied up, and the possession arrow is with Holy Redeemer. So once again, Redeemer giving themselves extra possessions, extra shots on the offensive end. And right now it's just extra time of possession they're giving themselves that's making the difference. Albrecht on the right-handed dribble gives that one off. Redeemer looked pretty content to keep that ball outside, and then Albrecht drove, had that shot partially blocked. Now with about a minute to go. A little bit of a wild look that time from Coleman. Lost the handle just before she got to the basket. Tried to get the shot up anyway. Wasn't really a quality shot, but they're running out of time. Kreptavich draws the foul. Under a minute to go, Abington in a position now where they're going to have to foul to keep the Royals from just dribbling this out. Brooke Kreptavich, 5'11" senior. Hits her first free throw. 71-64. Make it 72. Back to an 8-point lead for Holy Redeemer. Now we are down to about 45 seconds to play. So heck of an effort by the Comets. But I think it was just a little, that 10, 12, 13-point lead that the Royals got out to was just a bit too much to overcome. Abington able to cut it to as little as 5 here in the latter stages of the fourth quarter. But they couldn't get any closer than that. Walsh on the dribble, got it up underneath to Kantner. Kantner loses the handle. Boylan comes out with it for Redeemer. Dribbles all the way to the other side of the court. Finally, she's fouled by Snyder. But now we're down to under 24 seconds to go. Boylan hits her first free throw. 9-point lead for Holy Redeemer. Ten-point lead for the Royals. Coleman trying to get a shot off here before this thing ends. Couldn't, had to give that one up to Walsh. Long shot for Coleman. She hits a 3. Makes it 74-67, but we're down to the last second to play, and there is the buzzer. 74-67 is your final score. Holy Redeemer with the win at home. Holy Redeemer will next be in action on Tuesday of next week, the 10th. They will be right here at home versus Williamsport. Abington Heights next in action also next Tuesday. They will be at home up in Clark Summit versus Wilkes-Barre. That's the next time that these two teams will be in action. The next basketball broadcast here on Service Electric Channel 9 will be Thursday night here in the Holy Redeemer Gym, where the Holy Redeemer boys will host Selinsgrove That'll be Thursday night, the 5th. Paul Garrity will have the call for you on that one. For tonight, Holy Redeemer girls with the 74-67 win over Abington Heights. My name is Rick Starron. Been a pleasure being with you here on a Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your week.